Mixed martial arts and kickboxing legend Pat Hype or Die Berry and the #3 ranked UFC strawweight Rose Namajunas taught a 2-hour seminar at Claudia Gadelha's BJJ and MMA Academy in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, June 4th.
It's never over, meaning defense, 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 it's 100% at all times. Firing back.
MyMMAnews.com caught up with the two to discuss what they taught, their fighting careers, and if wedding bells are in their near future.
Yeah, so today when we do seminars, I mean, you get all kinds of walks of life in the gym, and from, you know, beginner to very advanced, and little kids to you know, big adults. So we have to go back to the basics. You know, you can always, no matter what level you're at, you can go back to the basics. And we worked a lot of shadow boxing in the beginning because that's something that's very underutilized, and people don't do it the correct way. You know, they're just like. And so we really work on getting that snap in our punches, and work on really throwing our punches and being able to not fall off balance or get tired. And then after that, then we worked on a little bit of partner drills, worked on offense, defense. You can have the prettiest punches in the world, but if you can't defend nothing, then it doesn't matter. So we worked on both sides of that, and finish off with a little conditioning. Like I said, conditioning is, you know, key, and it's the worst thing to get in the ring and get tired. So we just worked on that.
In the seminar, I tend to like to focus on bad habits. A lot of things that we do that actually cause us to end up holding ourselves back and not grow as athletes and grow as, and it doesn't even have to be, you don't even have to be a fighter or anything like that, but just grow as people in general. And we focus on a lot of those bad habits and pointing out the bad habits that we all have that we don't even know about.
Of course I want to fight Claudia, you know, and of course I want to fight Carla as well and get that rematch out the way. But at the same time, I just want to fight whoever's the best and whoever's going to get me to the best. Right now, you know, obviously Carla and Claudia are both ahead of me. They're both, you know, kind of similar style of wrestling. Claudia has, you know, she's a little bit more, I think, diverse, and she's a little bit, you know, mixes things up a little bit. I really would, you know, like to test my jiu-jitsu against her. She's very, you know, it doesn't mean that the MMA fight would go that way, but maybe in a grappling tournament, you know, whatever. But at the same time, you know, right now Joanna's the champ, so if she stays the champ, I want to fight her. But Claudia is very impressive, and she's a beast. So I would love to test my skills against her.
Nobody walks like this. If you know anybody that walks left hand, left arm, they're an alien. Shoot them. Nobody should walk like this. Everybody walks right hand, left arm. Everyone walks with a twist.
The other day you tweeted out about you don't want to give away all your secrets that you're going to be here at Claudia's gym because one day you guys might fight. So she's fighting for the title next against Joanna. How do you see that fight going down?
Yeah, I think that Claudia has all the capability in the world to get her down this time and, you know, submit her with some ground and pound or something like that. I feel like if it goes to the decision, you know, the judges tend to go for the champ. You know, and it was a really close decision the last time they fought. So, you know, I probably edge it out for the distance fights. I think I say, you know, Joanna, but I think if Claudia goes out there with, you know, with an aggression and with a very calculated aggression, I think she could get it.
Or you left mixed martial arts in 2013, went back into kickboxing, and last year you were supposed to fight in Glory, but an injury kind of delayed that. Can you give us an update as where you are? Are you going back to Glory, going back to kickboxing? Maybe about the injury itself?
Well, I'm still contracted to Glory right now. I'm not opposed to any kind of fight. Kickboxing has always been my first love, so I'm always going to have a more of an attraction towards that. But I mean, nothing's out of the question.
And then, I mean, you're a legend in kickboxing and MMA. I mean, you have a ton of great fights, highlight reel. So is there any one fight that stands out in your mind as like, this is my favorite fight, or this was the most important fight in my career?
Well, the Anthony Hardon fight for me was a really big fight at that moment. Fighting Pro Cop was an even bigger fight at that moment in my life. I mean, I don't have any one particular fight that stands out more than all the rest. Now, I will say, people look at me kind of weird, but the Chicago fight was a big fight in my life. I mean, because of the ferociousness that I brought, the preparation that I had, I was the most ready for that, and it just happened to be the first time I'd ever been knocked out. So, like, that was a game changer for me, not in a bad way. Like, if anything, it made me more relaxed, like, because it had never happened. I've always secretly had a fear of getting knocked out my entire career, because I always thought, if this would happen, am I going to be the one that dies? Like, but then after it actually happened, it turned out that it wasn't so bad. But just like I said, the preparation that I had for that fight, the mentality that I walked into that fight with, the mentality that I walked into the fight with against Krokop, like, I was just, I mean, that's those fights like Anthony Hordon, Krokop, Chekhov, like all the, like the fight, pretty much every fight, but all those fights were big fights on, like I said, they're a big showcase of the mentality that I have, like knowing that, you know what, I am supposed to be here, I am a monster, I can be ferocious what I need to be. Like, those fights were a big testament to that. Like, it was like a marker of something that happened that I needed to see. I needed to feel it.
Bells in the future?
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome, that's definitely something that everybody asks us, like, when are you guys gonna get married and blah, blah, blah. I'm not one of those people that, like, is for, like, having such a big, like, I guess I like to celebrate, but, like, for tradition-wise, I just want to have a good party and, like, just be married, you know what I'm saying, and not all the headache and all, like, I don't know, fancy dress and everything like that. Something that's kind of laid back and where everybody can have a good time. So that's coming eventually. I want to get, like, enough money for a house, first, and then we'll get to that. Yeah.
And final question, we asked Rose the same question, so I want to see where you guys sit on this. You guys are kind of known as like the power couple in MMA.
Yeah.
Are there any wedding bells in the future?
You know what? We're engaged now. We don't know why we're engaged. We may get married, we may not get married. We're both believers that just because you go through the process of the traditional marriage and sign the papers, that doesn't mean that automatically now we can love each other more. Like, there's no, I love you, but I can't love you any more than this until we actually get married. I mean, she's my best friend on the planet. We're obviously together. I mean, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. I mean, she's all around me forever. So we're not big believers that the actual ceremony has to happen. I mean, in our years, we're already married. We've been married for years, man. I mean, she's my soulmate. I mean, that girl's my whole world. Like, my whole world. Like, I don't make any decisions. Maybe that's unhealthy. I don't know. But there's, like, no decisions that I make throughout the day that don't entail her. I mean, she's my everything. Best things ever happened.